Welcome to Pink Radio with Prestige. This is the place for you, the diva boss entrepreneur who needs quick tips on building your crave-worthy brand. This is your host, Nicole Doss, CEO of the Prestige Society, a membership organization for women entrepreneurs who believe in building powerful networks while slaying in their industries. So I want you to go ahead and grab your favorite cup of coffee and get your favorite tips right here with Prestige. All right, everyone. How are you doing on this fine day? That's right, the first day of the year. This is your girl, Nicole Doss. That's right, the CEO and founder of the Prestige Society, as well as your creator of Pink Radio with Prestige. Today, I want to talk about how we should be shifting our mindset in preparation, or, since we're already in it, for the new year. As always, I have 3 quick tips. And a lot of this really came about just because of the fact that as everyone was posting, preparing for the end of 2016, I noticed that a lot of people, if not a large significant number of people, complained about 2016. And, whether it was due to hardships or whether it was due to grief of losing people, a lot of people were not really happy with 2016. Some things were things that were lessons learned. Some things were things that they could have maybe handled on their own. And some things were just things that were in God's hands, that regardless of whatever preparation might have taken place, really God's sovereign self would have just allowed things to happen the way that he saw fit, right? So with that, it got me to thinking about how one usually prepares for a new year. And with that, we usually do things like resolutions, and we have all these things of what our new year resolutions will be. And even more popular, we're seeing that a lot of groups are hosting vision board parties to really help people prepare their minds for the new year. So as I sat at my desk, New Year's Eve, working on new ideas and starting to plan new campaigns for new services and new products, it got me to thinking about really what am I doing to truly prepare for a successful year? And I realized that although I was doing activities, right, busy doing things, I was not being strategic or intentional in what it is that I set forth for the new year. So I decided to completely change that altogether, get intentional, get a plan together, and move forward in that space. So I wanted to share with you my 3 tips for how I prepared for 2017, and hopefully giving you some insight on how you too should also prepare for 2017. So of course, we're going to start with number 1, and that's being intentional. So what does that mean? It means stop with just going with however the day decides your day should go. Stop with going with however you feel that other external forces are telling you how life should be. Stop with spending a year looking back saying, well, I kind of just went with the flow. Be intentional. Really declare what it is that you want for your life, what it is that you want from 2017. Declare it, state it, and allow that to be the guide or the direction or blueprint that you set forth for your life. See, what happens when you kind of just go with the flow is that the flow really just doesn't ever happen. It's just the hamster wheel that becomes your life. It's that day in, day out of getting up, going to work, doing a string of tasks or jobs or activities that usually do not amount or result into anything other than wasteful energy. And anyone who knows me knows that I despise wasteful energy. And the reason being is that I truly believe, especially from 2016, I've had 4 deaths that happened in my family. So, when you lose that many people, it becomes so evident that time is something that cannot be bartered. It is not something that can be negotiated. It's not something that can be traded up. You cannot get more time of it. You cannot purchase more time. You can't do anything other than deal with the amount of time that has been given to you, that has been predestined to you before you were even brought into this earth. So if that's the case, then being a trustful and responsible steward of the most precious resource one can have is truly important. It's something that I take very seriously. So being intentional is key, because when you're intentional, you make sure that everything that you do, there's purpose that's tied to it. The purpose can be something as simple as wanting to just enjoy life, or just wanting to take a moment to take a deep breath in and to just relax your mind and relax your spirit and your soul. Or it can be something as complex as saying that you're going to have or carve out certain times in the day to write a book or to go ahead and start that huge plan. And it can be as sweet and as warm as saying that there's going to be time that you spend with family and loved ones, knowing that no one is promised tomorrow. So with that, the first tip is being intentional. And I hope that you spend some time meditating and really figuring out what it is that's most important to you, and then making sure that you carve out and plan that time that allows you to spend the moments of your life the way that you intend, and not the way that you just allow life to just throw you from one side to the other, just on a roller coaster or on a hamster wheel, just going through life without any intention. So that moves me into number 2, which is be purposeful. Purpose for me, I think, it's everything. And I think those who believe in living their life on their purpose, they get it, and they also operate in that space. For those who really aren't sure of their purpose and who may not even understand the importance or the magnitude of operating in one's purpose, they're the ones who do not live life intentionally. And unfortunately, they don't have the opportunity to experience what it means to have a blueprint laid before you that really helps direct and guide what it is that you do. If you want to understand your purpose and you aren't quite there yet and you need a little help, I want you to spend some quiet time to yourself. Turn off the TV, turn off your phone, get to a quiet space. If you have a dog, put the dog in its crate or wherever you do to let it just be away from you. If you have kids, turn on a nice little video or their favorite TV show and allow them to kind of go into that space where they can watch TV, and you go into your space and you close the door and you close your eyes and you meditate. And during that time when you're meditating, I want you to ask for only one thing, and that is direction on what your purpose is. That's it. And when you do that, I want you to open your heart, your mind, and your spirit. And I want you to ask that your opinions are removed from you, that you have an open spirit and open heart to receive whatever message comes to you, and I want you to accept it. I think a lot of times we try to keep up with the Joneses, right? And so when we are on the search for our purpose, we tend to just do too much work. And what that means is that we try to find this over complex string of messages of what our purpose is. And we feel that this purpose needs to be so great. I mean, as great as solving world peace, finding the answer to world hunger. And when it's not that complex, then we tend to think that there's a mistake. in the message that we're receiving. We think there's a glitch in the matrix, and so we try to insert ourselves into the exploration of what what our purpose truly is. And so, as always, I have a story, and so I'll share with you. When I was first laid off, I was in my late 20s, and it devastated me because all I thought I was my job. And if anyone asked me who I was, I always started with my name, and I usually, the very next thing that followed was the title that I held. And then the thing right after that would be, what that title, what I had to do with that title and what I did. And so I would tell people my name is Nicole Jackson, and I am a training specialist or consultant. And my job is to train leaders on being better leaders for a Fortune 500 company. And I used to say that with such pride and with such dignity. And I was a little bit of a snob with that. And when I was laid off, that job was taken away from me. And let's just be frank, I was fired. And it was easier for the organization to fire me because that means that they did not have to pay out any benefits. And the reason why they fired me is because I opened an email. And the email was about horoscopes that another supervisor had sent. And so, being that I had my undergraduate degree in employment law, they decided not to really fire me, but just to eliminate the position for fear that I would sue and that I would go to EEOC. So that string of events was like, it rocked me to my core because I had loyalty to a company that was not loyal to me. I had pride in a title that did not define me, but I thought it did. And when all of that was stripped away, and when all of that deceit happened, I felt lost. So there's someone out there who understands when something or someone is taken away from you. And when that something or someone is the definition of your existence, then we usually blame that thing, that person, that incident for our feeling of being lost. What we sometimes don't understand is that is the entryway, the gateway for you to begin to find yourself and your purpose and what it is you're supposed to be doing. So probably around 27, 28, I started this quest of trying to figure out what is it? What is my purpose? And what kept coming to me, and I just could not understand at that time, was that I had the ability to connect people with people. I'm the person that always knows a person who does something that you need. And people always came to me and would ask me, hey, Nicole, I need a photographer. Do you know a photographer? Hey, Nicole, I need a DJ. Do you know a DJ? And at the time, on the side, I was a party promoter. And I would throw events in the city, and I would, have access to models because I would use them as promotional girls for my events. I had access to DJs. I had access to just people who were graphic designers, people who were just whatever you can think of. Being in that field, you just have a pool of talent that you tend to come in contact with. And so I had no clue how I could use that for my purpose. And nor did I think it was a purpose. I mean, I just felt like it's just who I was. I was someone who just could connect people. I just imagined myself as a connector. So as a connector, what ended up happening is that I always told myself that my purpose was, I just couldn't get the answer to my purpose because it couldn't be as simple as being a connector. And at the time, I was very, very active on MySpace. So I kept saying, there is no way my purpose is to connect people because there's already a technology, a platform that can do that. MySpace does that. And so I don't understand what my purpose is. And then when I kept trying to get myself to turn my purpose into a passion, my passion into a profit, I just could not connect the dots because for me, the message that kept coming to me is that you connect people. How awesome is that? When you think about that right now and what I do with the Prestige Society, at the basis of what the Prestige Society is, it's an organization for networking. So for you out there who's trying to find your purpose, oversimplify it. down to the simplest, sweetest form of what that message that keeps coming to you over and over and over again. Take out the need to turn it into a profit. Take out a need to turn it into something that is so great because you want to be able to measure up to the person that you see to the right of you or to the left of you. There's a purpose that has been given to you that you are responsible for carrying out. Get out of your own way. Accept what it is in its simplest form and just do great work in that space. And what will happen is that the blessings that then come with that, the blessings that come with your due diligence, the blessings that come with your loyalty to following the blueprint that the purpose over your life has laid out for you, you will begin to flourish in ways that you have never anticipated. So therefore, just get out of your way and make sure that everything that you do is driven by your purpose. Which leads me to my final tip for 2017, which is be thankful. I think it's so easy for us to say all the things that we should be doing that we shouldn't. So anyone that knows me knows I am extremely transparent. So one of the things that I feel like I wish I could have accomplished in 2017 is generating at least 6 figures with my brand. And if I wasn't the person who really takes on the whole rock your life mentality philosophy based off my own book, because if I don't take heed to my own advice, then why should anyone else take heed to mine, right? I really have to remember that just because I did not make a certain amount doesn't mean that there weren't things that I learned this year. And so I forced myself to do a year in review, where I look at all of the awesome moments in my life. And then from there, I just say thank you. I give thanks for all of those things. So although I could say, I'm a failure because I did not generate a certain amount of revenue, what this year has been to me has been nothing less than phenomenal. So the first thing that I was able to do in 2016 was sit down with my founding members and have a meeting where we decided to start or do our first annual Phenomenal Woman Gala. And although the gala is going to actually be implemented, or it's going to happen or take place in 2017, it was women who came together, 5 women came together with our minds, the very 5 women who started in the very beginning, and we decided to do something that recognizes what other women are out there doing, which is helping and advocating for those who need a voice. So the fact that that was just an idea in January of 2016, that I have the ability to turn into fruition with these wonderful women in 2017, for me is just remarkable. The fact that I, in 2015, said that I wanted to do some speaking engagements, and by 2016, I was able to say that I have been able to speak for a nationally syndicated radio stations conference called the B Expo. I was able to speak on a cruise in the Bahamas for a women's conference. Although that for me was a failure as far as the conference, the connections that I made, the women that I met, I wouldn't take that back for the world. And it was because of that experience I was able to meet those women. When I think of the book that I was able to publish and release, the radio shows I've been on, all these things that I was able to do in 2016 that I did not do at all in 2015, that surpasses just being able to say I generated a dollar amount. So I'm thankful for those opportunities, and I'm thankful for the continued growth and the continued blessings. When you stop to be thankful instead of complaining, what happens is that you then begin to make room for more blessings. So I want to encourage you all to take a moment and to truly be thankful for all that you have accomplished. Even if it's a failure, because your failures are your opportunities to learn and to grow and to apply those lessons to the next experience that you're going to have in the future. I hope you're able to take these little nuggets of information and apply them to your 2017. I hope you were able to relate to some of the things that I've shared with you. And with that, I hope you divas have a wonderful and fabulous year. Cheers to you. Cheers to the woman who is relentless. Cheers to the woman who is ambitious. Cheers to the woman who is blessed. And cheers to you and all that is coming to you in this wonderful, blessed year. All right, divas, have a wonderful day. Bye.